Hello, hello. Is everyone here? Is everyone here? So let's take head count. Let's do census. Although Nigeria has not done census since, is it 2006 now? Who knows the last time Nigeria had that? It's 2006, right? Am I correct? Yeah, I think it's 2006. So Olamide, are you here?
Live and
Fabian.
direct.
All right, Fabian.
Yes, I mean.
All right, Ada. Ada here. Oluwabumi, are you here? You're sounding far away again. Or you not see anything?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Princess, are you here?
Yes, I am.
All right, so it's good to have all of you. You're welcome to the part 2 of today. Yeah, I know it's so stressful. Then we take the pain. Yeah, I was reading a post yesterday, and someone said, "Who has read the book Outlier?" No one. Okay. So one of the major points in that book is that for you to become 1% of anything in this world, you need to have practiced that same thing for 10,000 hours. So if you want to be the best athlete in the world, you want to be Ronaldo, Messi of football, you have to have practiced that skill for 10,000 hours. If you want to be the best data analyst in the world, you need to have been able to practice data analysis for 10,000 hours. If you want to be the best, like one among the 1% of software engineers in the world, you need to have done that for or written codes or programmed apps for 10,000 hours. So someone was now saying, he said the post was now that in terms of, so there are two things that can happen. Many people aspire to be 1%, but they cannot pay the price that would make them 1%. Because to get to that 1%, you say, look at 10,000 hours. If you look at how many hours are in a year, how many hours are in a year? Someone should do the calculation for us now. Are you all with me? Why is it this place always so cold? People on mute and talk.
How many hours?
And in a year, not leap year. Let's say 365 days in a year. Yeah. How many hours?
8,760.
Three,
8,000.
8,760.
8,760. So that means that
Yeah.
if if you are not sleeping, you do not sleep for the whole year, and you are training, you have just 8,007 plus, which is impossible. Let's assume that you have now budget that, oh, every day I will practice this for 3 hours. Oh no, 5 hours. 5 hours is too much. 3 hours because of other. So that means that in a year, how many hours? That's approximately 1,000, right? So that means that you have 10 years to practice the same thing to become 1% of the world. And that is proven empirically. Empirically, it's proven. As you have started data analysis, if your aim is to become 1% of the world, just commit 10,000 hours to it. You become 1% of the world. Wherever it is, it's empirically proven. Empirically proven. If you want to be the best orator in the world, commit 10,000 hours to it. So that means that, so if you want to get 10,000 under your belt, if you are committing 5 hours per day, that's about 1.5 in a year, or let's say 1.6, 1.7 thereabout. So you have about 6 years. Yeah, 6 years to do that, to become 1% of the world. So now we can easily see the level of commitment, level of sacrifice, the level of consistency that is needed to achieve your ambition. So the person was now saying that to take that pain is always very hard for people. So it's either, so this is your ambition and this is your commitment. So it's either you increase your commitment or you reduce your ambition. So you pick one of the two. Either you reduce your ambition so that your ambition comes to your level, or you increase your commitment, or you ensure that you increase your commitment until it matches your ambition. So it's either of the two. So this pain we are taking is that first part, which is ensure that our commitment meets our ambition. It's just for us to go. Let's go the aspire to Maguire route. so, it's a pain that is worth it. Yes, it's a pain that is worth it. At least I have been. This is my data analyst. Data analysis generally. I think I started data analysis around 2014, 2013. So I would say about 12 years. But in terms of professionally, I started in 2018, and that's about 8 years now. Yeah, going to about 8 years now. And I can say that it's actually true. You can actually be a very good data analyst, and you have a lot of things that you can say, oh, this is my achievement in this field, whatever the field. And even now we are seeing the matching of interdisciplinary approach to this, where people take data analysis skills and they apply it in their own domain, either it is art, social sciences, pure science, physical sciences, chemical sciences, different kind of science, different kind of art, different kind of social science field. People are actually actively applying data analysis and can actually do that. So let's go back to the class and continue what we're doing. So now we're going to be looking at, so we have talked about categorical and continuous. So the next thing we want to look into is, okay, what are the kind of analysis you can do? So when you are summarizing the first level, when you're talking about, so when we're talking about different kind of statistics, you said, okay, the first level to statistics is descriptive statistics. When you want to describe. The next level, oh, sorry for this. Let me, that already thought that I'm doing black for everybody. Then the next is inferential. So for now, we are leaving inferential out. We are only staying in descriptive. So now, the first level for data analysis is to describe your data. And you can describe your data in different forms. So all of the dashboards you are seeing, they are all description. You are just describing your data. Any data, any dashboard you see anywhere, everything is just description. which is that first level. Now, to describe your data, you need what we call summary statistics. If your data is continuous, I think we have overly flogged what continuous is. Yeah. If your data is continuous, you need what we call summary statistics. And what is summary statistics? You have the mean, median, standard deviation, maximum, minimum, range. These are all summary statistics. You are summarizing your data. So for that variable, you are describing it. You are describing it. You are describing what it means. You want to bring out insights. But once your variable is categorical, you are limited. You cannot do mean. So if you recall that when we're young in high school and probably in your university, you have done some statistics. We have 4, 5, 6, let's say 3, 4. If you have to take the mean of this, you just the average of this, you sum everything together and divide by the total number. That's the average. But what if you now have male, female, male, male, female? How do you do average of that one? So that becomes problematic, right? Becomes problematic. That's why for categorical variable, we already know that, okay, if you're having categorical variables, to describe categorical variables, we use charts, we use tables. So to bring it home, dashboard is like a physical representation of your data. The dashboard is where you have something like, I think I sent the dashboard. Did everyone see the dashboard I sent to the group last week or last 2 weeks? Did you all see it?
Yes, I saw it.
Okay, is there anyone who didn't see the dashboard I sent to the group? Is there anyone who does not see it? Okay, if you see it, talk, say I saw it. Just like Olamide had said.
I saw it.
Okay.
I saw it. I didn't see
All right.
anyone.
Oh, you didn't see anyone? You didn't see it?
Is it but it's the MTN one?
Yes, the MTN one. Yeah. That's the dashboard. Yeah. So that's the dashboard. So you can see that on that dashboard, you would see charts, right? You see charts. So you see charts, you see different things. That's a dashboard. So a dashboard is like a physical representation of your data. That's what a dashboard is. So on the dashboard, to represent categorical variables, you do charts tables. And under charts, you have your bar charts, pie charts, and some other charts, many charts. We are going to talk about charts when we get there, or we start to build our dashboard. But for continuous data, you can only do mean, median, standard deviation, maximum, minimum range. You can do sum, get total. Yeah, you can do counts, like count each of the items. I think you can also do count here also. Yeah, also do counting category. I can count the number of levels. So these are the major things that you are going to be working with for the next couple of weeks. These are the things you are going to be working with for the next couple of weeks. These are the things you are going to be working with generally for the next couple of weeks. If you see that chart, please can everyone have, so please everyone should unmute. Everyone should unmute, please. So open that dashboard that we have. I will call the variable they have, and you tell me if it is a categorical or a continuous variable, and you tell me if they use chart, table, or any of these summary statistics. So I'll call your name. So be prepared. I can call anybody's name. So Fabian, let's start with you. For device used, you have it opened?
Device used.
Yeah, device used. Is that variable
Yes.
continuous or categorical?
Even knowing
It's
Adam would
categorical.
fall,
Categorical.
deny him.
So what kind of description, what kind of statistics they use to describe that variable? Is it chart, table?
Categorical.
Yeah. Is it
Charts.
like
Charts.
charts? What kind of chart is that?
This is a bar chart.
Bar chart. Thank you very much. You say you are welcome now.
Oh, you're welcome. Sorry.
Yeah. So Olamide, total revenue.
Yes.
What variable is that?
Total revenue is continuous.
Yeah. So what kind of statistics do they use?
That should be sum.
Some. All right. Thank you. What of total customers? But it's the same thing.
Okay, the total customer is the same thing.
Yeah, some. All right. So I've got Olamide, I've got Fabian. Princess. Subscription plan. What kind of variable is that? Subscription plan. Princess, are you with us?
Yes.
What kind of variable is that? Do you have it opened?
Yes, categorical.
Categorical. So what kind of chart is that? Oh, what kind of statistics is that?
I don't know.
Okay, that's the chart. You see that the levels are on the left and the chart is like showing how they differ from one another.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's actually a bar chart. It's just thinned, like it's small. Because of you can actually adjust.
Okay, just but sorry, just horizontal.
Yeah, it's not a bar chart. Thank you.
Oh.
Okay, Ajayi Oluwabumi. The gender. So they have gender, then they have it distributed by age, then distributed by number of customers. That's no, don't let me use that. Let me just use the gender. The gender. Can you see the gender? Not the one that has age and number of customers underneath it. The one that is just gender. Are you with us, Ajayi Oluwabumi? Ajayi Oluwabumi, are you with us?
Sorry, I didn't know I was muted. Yes, I'm
Oh,
with
okay.
you.
Okay. So can you see gender?
Yes, I can.
All right. So what kind of variable is that?
Categorical.
All right. So what are the statistics do they use to describe it?
That's not a bar, not a bar.
Yeah. All of this chart, these ones that we have on our screen, summary statistics and categorical chart tables. Which one do they use to describe that gender?
Statistics.
Yeah, all of them are all statistics. So we said for
okay.
continuous, you can use mean, median, standard deviation, maximum, minimum, sum, count. And for categorical, you can use chart or table. So which one did they use in that on that dashboard?
Variables.
No, it's a variable itself.
No, you
Then
said they can use chart or what?
tables.
Okay, tables.
Yeah.
Okay.
So which one do they use for this gender?
I think it's tables.
Table will generate this, but then it's actually a chart.
Is that a chart? I thought it
Which
was
one are you
meant
looking at? Hope is not the one that is beside the. There are two genders. There is the one that has 50%, 50%, male and female.
Yeah, that one is a bar pie
It's
chart.
a pie chart. Yeah, that's a chart. That's what I'm referring to. The other
Is that
one
the one
is
I told you?
Yeah, that's what I was asking about.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the second one.
Yeah, the other one is the table. Yeah, you are correct.
Yes.
The other one is the table. You are correct. Okay, this one is dicey. So let me see the person that will get it. For states, who can tell us,
Wow.
is that chart or table or some statistics? Which one? Who can tell us what is there? Who can guess? It's a guess. You can guess. I just want people to
I
guess.
think state is categorical
Okay.
because
Okay.
we all know that Nigeria has 36 states plus FCT, so there can't be others
Okay.
in states.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's
it's
categorical.
categorical.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I want you to also notice something. On that chart, you see that the circles, they have different sizes. Do you notice
Yes.
that?
Yes.
What
So
do you
that
think?
sizes represents the total number from each state, total number of
Yes.
customers from each state.
Thank you very
So
much.
that's what
So that's the beauty of
represents.
statistics. Thank you
Yes.
very much. You got it. That's the beauty of statistics. So this is we call it a GIS chart. So a spatial chart. So you can have a chart by map where you can map the world and map the world as per the number of the population of countries. You can map Nigeria as a population of number of customers that MTN has in all of the states. Now, for each state, the size of that circle is the number of customers they have in that state. But actually, I don't think they wrote what they want, but we can infer because the chart, the dashboard is about customers, so we can infer that okay, most probably that size, the size of each of the circle is the number of customers they have in that state. So that's just it. Although on this circle, it's kind of dicey because you are unable to really see the state. But in a cleaner chart, you would want to have each state under that circle so that you'll be able to know, okay, this is the state that we are talking about. Because on this circle now, Maduguri has 2 points. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, is someone saying something? Ajayi Oluwabumi, you're saying something.
No, I'm with you.
Okay, so you can see that on that Maduguri, there are 2 points. So the chart is not clean. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's not clean. So it can easily confuse anybody. I remember that one of the major things that we do in data storytelling is you don't want to confuse people. So I think with this, it shows that everybody already understands what I've said here. So for categorical variable, you don't use mean, median, sum. You can say you want to sum male and female. It doesn't make sense. You can only sum continuous variable to say maybe you want to look at total, average customer, average income, range of your customer. You can say you want to find the range of categorical variable. What we say range? Say range of male and female. What is between the two? So you can also like, yes, you want sum, but you can count. You can do the count of customers per state, all of those. So there's now what we call cross tabulation. That's the next level. Cross tabulation. So for these ones that we are seeing, that we are picking each variable on its own and seeing that, okay, we want to look at the mean of that variable. Now, you can now cross tabulate, just like we have said that customers in each state. That's where data analysis becomes more interesting. When you are now bringing in two variables together, you can say that, okay, this variable, under this variable, we have average income. But what of for female? What is the total age or average age of female? For state, what is the total number of customers in that state? That's where data analysis becomes very, very interesting. Data analysis is not very interesting when it is univariate. Univariate can always be there. But when it becomes multivariate, when you are bringing in two variables together, then that's where it becomes more interesting. And that's where pivot table comes on your normal data sets, your table, you can do sum, you can say equals to sum, then you pull in from this place to this place, then press enter, you get your sum. You can do average, instead of sum, you can do average. equal to AVRAGE average that gives you can do range and all of those, can do maximum, minimum. But once you want to get cross tabulation, like better glance and view of your data, you have to do cross tabulation. And more so on this, you cannot really do much with categorical variable. It's our formulas in itself. You have to move to pivot table. So how do you do pivot table? That's the next thing we want to do. How do you do pivot table? So it's very easy to do pivot table. Just highlight your data. You can press Ctrl A, go to insert. No, sorry. Go to format as table. I think insert should also come in. Okay, it doesn't work. Format as table. Yeah, insert table. Yes. Okay. It's not this insert. Not this insert that is there. The insert on your menu bar. You click on insert, then click on table, then you tell. So let me explain something here. There's something we call header. You can see that for on top of each of the columns, we have like something that is telling us that this is the kind of column that we are working on. This kind of column we are working on. So to do that, we have to tell Excel that, okay, our table has header. Header means that for each of the column, there's something that is telling us what that column is all about. So you can see that I often feel overwhelmed just talking about this column. I find out to relax talking about this column. I find that difficulties coming out of this column. So that's the header for that column. So that's why when we get to insert and click on table, you tell Excel that my table has headers. If you don't click this, if you don't check this rather, if you don't check it, check means that you click this, is blue. If you uncheck it now, it's unchecked. If you check it, you go, you are good to go. You can see that it's changed, it recognizes this as your headers. If you don't check it, let me do it again. I will not check it this time. If you don't check it, what would happen is you see that it did something else entirely. Now it brought in something else as my header, which I don't like. That's why when you press Ctrl A, you click on insert, you click on table, you ensure that you check this, my table has header. So when you click on OK, then you see that it does what we want. So what we had there before is now what is the header. So everybody do the same thing on your end. Do the same thing and let me know if you get the same results. Right, I'll be waiting for you. I'll give you 1 minute to do that. Let me know if you get the same result. If you don't get the same result, let me know. Who is getting different results? Or who got a different result? I got a different results. Let us know. Who got a different result? Were you all able to do it? That's the next question.
Yes, I was able to do it.
All right. Who was unable to do it? All right. So once you click on insert and you have your table formatted, then you can then start the pivot table. You can start the pivot table. Once you have it formatted like this, you can start the pivot table. And that's where your analysis begins. Very easy. That's where your analysis begins. So notice, there's something that I want you to notice. Look at your menu bar. You see what we call table design. Before, table design was not there. Let me show you again. So I have Control Z. You can see that table design is not there because I don't have a table. But as soon as I have a table, table design showed up. If I click on this table design, I can name my table, and it's a good practice to name your table. You name your table. So I can name my table anything. I can name it ADAS 1. ADA 1. I can name it anything I want. I can name it people 1. You can name it anything you want, and it's good to name your table because you can have multiple tables in the same data set. And it's good to start having that mindset because when we get to database management, you start to talk about tables. When we get to database management, we start to talk about tables, multiple tables, and bringing in more than, it's not even database management, even in Excel, we're going to talk about multiple tables, yes. At some point, we'll talk about multiple tables. So for you to be able to merge multiple tables together, you need to be able to name your table. So how does multiple tables, how can they come in? They can come in if you have different tables that are representing different things. And you have to bring data from this table, and bring them together. And it's all this is still all about this cross-tabulation, cross-variable, multi-variable kind of thing. Because most of the insights you want to get out, they are not sitting in average age, average income. No. You say, okay, in our customers, their average age is 40. Yes, thank you. You are welcome. That means that most of our products should be for young people. Thank you. What can you give us above that? Oh, out of those young people, about 50% are female, or about 80% are female. Oh, that becomes more insightful. That means that if we are going to get anything, it has to be mostly female than male. You can say I'm bringing in multi-variables now. So most of the insight is not on our customers 50%, 60% male, 40% female. Oh, out of our female customers spend about 10 hours online. That means that we can actually market our ads through our online channels. These are the things that, the questions that we can answer using that pyramid we talked about. So now once you are done naming your table, then the next thing is to insert what we call pivot table. So you click on insert. So instead of inserting table, now we want to insert pivot table. Just click on pivot table. So you can see that automatically Excel wrote your table name. But sometimes you don't know your table name. So that's why I said it's good that you already have your table name, then you can just type in your name if Excel does not bring it, especially when you have multiple tables in your data set. So once you have your table here, just click on new worksheet so that the pivot table can be done in a new worksheet. You will not do it in the same data set where your table or your data set is. The same worksheet where your table or data set is. Then you click on OK. So a new worksheet will be created here. So you can see that before we don't have this sheet 1. Let me delete it so that I can go back. So when I click insert pivot table, then I wrote the name of my table here, then I click on new worksheet, then I click on OK. You see that it created a new worksheet. It created a new worksheet. So before now, I was working with these sheets, but now we have this one, which has now been created. So worksheet is like where you are working, the sheets you are working. So Excel has rows and columns. So all of the columns and rows on these sheets, you can create multiple sheets. So you can see that you click on this plus sign, you can use it to create multiple sheets. So Excel can also create sheets automatically for you. So when you insert new worksheet, you'll say, okay, my pivot table should be in a new worksheet. My pivot table should be in a new worksheet. So that's what you are telling Excel. Create pivot table in a new worksheet. That's why it's automatically created this here. So now I can still do more univariate here. I can still do univariate here. So I can continue with my univariate. So for gender, how do I do univariate? So we have row, columns, and values here. So these are just things that you can just always work around, and you might not get it at a go, but as you work and try to work on it, you continue to get it. So for you to be able to work on the table, like frequency table for gender, you drag it to row, you drag it to values. So automatically, Excel will generate something for you. But look at what Excel is generating for me. It's generating count. Count of gender, which is the number of people that are female and the number of people that are male. That is good if that's what I want, right? If I just want, okay, how many people are male, how many people are female? That's good. What if I want percentage? Right? I mean, I want percentage, I might not want count, but Excel has done count automatically. That's fine, but I can change it myself. What I will do is look at this place where we have values. So because that's place that is controlling this place. So just click on this arrow, then you go to value field settings. When you go to value field settings, you can change what you want here. So what I want is show value as percentage of grand total. Then I click on OK. Once I click on OK, what would happen is that it's going to change this to percentage. So instead of count, now I have percentage. But because Excel did count from the beginning, so it will not change the name on top of this. So I'm going to now change the name and drag this so that I now have percentage. So I can name this gender, then name this percentage. Simple. Any question? Any question? Question, no. And if it's that you don't understand any part, let me know.
Hi.
Not yet.
I can't hear you.
Said no.
Okay, I have a
I'm
question.
sorry.
Okay, Princess, wait, let's hear Fabian.
Like
Okay, so
Java says,
yes,
you
so
know,
all
in
we have
Java says
done
you need
basically is,
to
is to generate a pivot table.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Because I can't do that now, but I think it's because I've not paid for the Excel package yet. But I will watch the part of the video again and try it. Thank you.
Okay. So once you generate the pivot table, then you can start your analysis. This is the basis of the dashboards we are going to be creating going forward. So please ensure that you are able to do all that we did today. Ensure that you are able to do them. Just ensure that you are able to do them. Because from next week, we'll start to work with. So Fabian, what's the issue you're having with your Excel?
I think my own issue is that I did not pay for the Microsoft 365 plan on my laptop yet, so I can't
Okay.
do all that things except open an Excel file.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Although teacher self is using big brush. And then you have product activation field there. So you can always get the ones that they are the fake versions. You get if you're unable to afford the paid version.
Wait.
Do you get me?
Yes.
Yeah, you can ask around. The people that are around campuses, I think those business centers, they always have the cracked version or the fake version that you can just use for practice before you have the big money to go for Microsoft 365 and pay all those $150, $200. All right, so Princess, you want to say something?
Yes, I wanted to say you should recall what you said or the topic, sorry, or the explanation you made. But I think the best thing I'll do is to watch the video.
No, just let me know if there's any place that you don't understand. I can go back. So
Well,
let's take it
if
one step at a time. Do you understand how I inserted the tables at the table?
yes, I know
Do you
how you
understand
inserted.
how I named the table?
Yes,
Do you understand how I inserted pivot table?
I do understand how you did all that. But
So if you want
if
to
you leave
insert
me
pivot
alone
table,
or ask me questions,
what is
I
it?
might not be able to. I said I understand. Like I can see and I'm getting you. But I'm just talking about being left alone. I might not be able to like do it. Or if you ask me a question regarding it, I might not have answer. But what you're doing, I'm following. I don't know if you understand how I mean.
Okay, okay. So you don't have your laptop opened. That's the issue, right?
Yeah, I don't have it.
Okay,
It went off.
all right.
But I have a
Okay,
pictorial diagram here that I'm looking
okay,
at currently. So it's aiding what you're
okay.
saying.
All right, all right. So it's step by step. That's why I'm asking that. Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? Once you are able to do those, no problem. It's the same thing. There is nothing different. You make your data a table. You insert. You name your table. Once you name your table, click on insert. Click on pivot table. Then you are good to go. You put your table in this pane. Type the name of your
Mm-hmm.
table there. Once you are sure that you have named your table, you click on table design and you name your table. You can see table name. You have put the name of your
Yes.
table name. Then the next thing is once you click on insert pivot table, if it's only your table, the table that you have named that is there in the data in the workspace, Google, Excel will see that table name, only that one. But if it's multiple, then there might be issues. So that's why I said you can type this yourself. So once you click on OK, it would open a new worksheet. Once you get to this worksheet, it's not depending on the variables that the variable you want to pick. So if I want to pick education level now, what I'll just do is just click on it, then drag it down to row, drag the same variable down to values. So once I drag it to rows and values, I can also drag it to column and values, depending on anyone you want. So you can try things out. So you can see that Excel did count automatically. If I don't want count, then I will click on this guy here. Then I click on value field settings. Then click on show value as. Then click on this show value as. Then percentage of grand total. Okay, then I'm good to go. Because I don't have percentage, so I'll just rename this to percentage. Then rename this one to education So, Oluwabumi, are you here? Oh, she's not here again. Wow. I wanted to let us see the utility of not treating age as categorical. If we pull age to row, put the same value to values, you see the number of levels. They are very much, too much. So this is just 25 people. Look at the levels of responses. So now imagine we have 1 million people. Now imagine you have 10 million people. How many level of responses? It's too much. So that's why we'll say that, okay, age is not categorical. It is well, education level is categorical. So that's just what we have learned so far. That's all we have learned so far. That's all we've learned so far. That's all we've learned so far. So every other thing is just filling the gaps. We learned how to do this, how to do that. They are just filling the gaps. Everything we've done today are what we've learned so far in terms of what is needed. Every other things are conditional, pieces, other information for your information as you are working. So going into next week, these are the things we are going to be working with. So please, please, this pivot table, go and like practice and practice and practice and practice. Practice and practice and practice and practice. Because that's what we're going to be using. So if you want to create another pivot table, you don't need to go to insert pivot table. Just copy any of your pivot table, copy it completely. Don't copy half. Don't copy half. Don't copy this and go and paste. You have to copy it completely. Anyone you want to copy, you copy it completely. So then you copy it, then you paste. Also, another practice is don't paste pivot tables underneath one another. Please don't do that. Don't paste them underneath one another. Paste them beside one another. Don't paste them underneath one another. Paste them beside one another. So those are the caveats. So if you want to copy, if you want to create another one, just copy, paste, then remove that variable. So once you come here, you can remove the variable. Click on this arrow at this pointer, then you click on remove field, click on this, click on remove field, then you can drag another one down. You can drag another one down. And drag it. So most of the time when we analyze, we usually don't analyze, we actually bring in two variables. We bring in categorical and continuous, and those are the things we start to fill in the gap from next week. But as at this week, this is where I want us to, this is what I want you to practice. Practice how to bring in pivot table. That's what I want, like what I want you to know. Like practice it over time. Duplicate your pivot table, copy completely, change the variable, try to change the variable, pick another variable, do different things on this pivot table. If you have any question, drop your question on the group. I think I want to see more questions on that group. People are not always dropping any questions. Like I appreciate people that have dropped questions. Olamide, Ada, I appreciate you guys. But most people don't drop questions on that. So Olamide, you have questions? Yeah.
Yes. Please, I was trying to do that percentage, but I didn't get it. How did you change it? I got it to the point of changing it to like clicking on that drop down arrow.
This one,
I clicked it. Yes, I was able to click it. Yes, I clicked
value fit setting.
Yes.
Now
so
look
it was
at
at this point I didn't see percentage.
Okay. Under you can see summarize value field by, it will not be there. Look at this. Show value as. Can you see show value as?
Yes, okay, that was why I missed
click on it. So you can, if you click on this drop down, you will see percentage of grand total. So then click on OK.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Fabian, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
All right. Ada, are you with us?
Yes, please, I have a question.
All right.
So, for this age and the sum of age,
Yeah.
I'm trying to see how to change it. Just like how you put that grand total,
Okay.
right? Where you can change.
All
Well, I'm
right.
not seeing it come up on my own screen.
Okay. So do you have this? Do you have where you can change it? You can click on value field setting here.
Sure. Okay, at the top left corner, right?
No, this, so under this chart, under this pivot table fields, where we are changing this to percent, where we change to percentage, this arrow, this point, drop down button. Can you see it?
Yes, yes.
All right, click on value field setting.
Okay. Okay, value field setting.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you have, so under summarize value by, you can
Okay.
pick any one you want. You can pick average, so you have average.
Okay. Okay.
You can pick any other one under that value field setting. You can pick count.
Oh
You
yeah.
can pick sum.
Okay. We just need to is it that we just need to highlight what we want to change?
Yes, you always have to go back to pick what you want to change.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to always go back to pick it.
Oh, all right. I understand now.
You have to always go back to pick it. You cannot do two things at the same time. You have to always go back to pick it.
So we have to highlight the whole table, not just the grand total. Or can we
No,
just highlight just the final answer? Like, for example, I want to check the average of this age. Do I have to just highlight the total, the grand total figure, or have to highlight the whole table for the age?
all right, so now there are two questions you're asking. So is it age, like the average age for all of the columns, all of like the column itself, or for each of the level under age?
Okay, so
What do you
looking at your own tab, I want to highlight the one under column G. So that one that says 20.
Mm-hmm.
No,
You want to know
the
the number
down,
of
down,
people
down,
that
down. You know,
age
your own
20.
is minimum. So your minimum, that is what I want to. Hey, yes.
Okay, here, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So what would happen is that in this place, on this column, under column G, what will be there is dependent on the function you have called.
Okay.
So if you notice that if I change this value for setting to average, what you can see that it has changed.
Yeah.
So it's depending on what I call. I can't change this alone. So everything that is here, the Excel would automatically calculate it. I'm not in charge of anything. Anything that is on this place, Excel will automatically calculate dependent on what I am doing. So you notice that 31.08, if I go back to this place now and say, okay, I want the average of everybody from year to year, like everybody in my data set, you see that it should be 31.08. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yeah. So what Excel has done is that Excel has, like, in its own magnanimity, it has done the average of everybody and given you here. You don't need to do that. So because once you say that, okay, I want the average of people that said 20, people that said 21, people that said 23. So automatically it's going to be that, okay, the grand total will now be the average of everybody. So Excel will calculate that. So if you say that, okay, I want the sum of people that said 20, people that said 21, then Excel will do the total sum for you. That's why I'm saying that Excel would automatically, so if I pick sum now, Excel will do the total sum. So if I go back to this data set, if I don't pick average, if I pick sum here, if I pick sum, SUM, can you see that?
Yeah.
You can see that it coincides. So that's just it. So Excel would automatically do all of those ones for you. So your own is just to tell Excel that, okay, on this place, oh, this is the kind of calculation you should do. Did I answer your question?
Yes, please.
All right. But most times we don't always use, or for the most part, we don't need to use continuous variable on a table like that. We don't need it. What we do mostly is to do cross tabulation, where, okay, let me do cross tabulation now, so people will see how it's done. So you can say that, okay, I want to look at gender. So instead of pulling gender to value, I will pull age to value. So now I can now say that, okay, now I have age here, I have gender here. So please, Excel will always make all of these nonsense things. So you have to always change it. Sorry. So now, what Excel has done here is sum of age, but that's not what I want. I want average age per gender, average age per gender. So I'll pick average here. I'll click on OK. So now I can now see what I have here now. Although the total average, the grand total average of everybody is at 1.08. But now I can now look at the average of female, average of male. You can say I've used two variables now. Average of female, average of male. Also, I can say that, okay, I want to look at which of my gender spends most times online. I have questions around how many hours they spend online per day. So I can just pick this pivot table. So I will remove, okay, I need gender because I want to know the gender that spends most times online. So instead of pulling gender to value, I'll pick how many hours spent online to value. So now I can see that the sum of, oh, sorry, if you double click, it will always bring that detail out because you go back to your data set. You can see that the sum of everybody that is a female, the sum of their total time they spend online is 125. Everybody that is a male, the total of time that they spend online is 157. So who spends most time online? Please, you can give us the answer.
Male.
Male.
Why? Because you can see the sum of hours male spends online to be what? 157. So that's cross tabulation for you. That's multivariable for you. So that's what we always do. Most times we don't always, for this part, it's always categorical because it makes our insights more beautiful. It makes our insight more beautiful. So that you can then do, okay, so that's why on that dashboard we're looking at, we have state and number of customers. So state is categorical, number of customers is continuous. Like, okay, in this state, number of customers, in this state, count of customers, in this state, count of customers, in this state, count of customers. That's what we do. We have categorical in rows, then pull the numeric or continuous variable, pull it there so that you can, bring in insights. So that's how it works. Very easy, although it can be confusing when you start, but then as you put in the practice over and over, it becomes easier. Any question?
Yes, please. I have a question.
All right.
So, first, I want to know, just like, okay, in a situation whereby I want to just get a full details without me always having to analyze each of them. For example, I want to know how many female, the female. I also want to know the average of female, then the average number of females that come online, right? Is there a way that we can put those three together, or it just has to be two? That is where the rows and the value. Is there a place I can put row, value, and value? Or by the time I get the value, I have to go and cut it and paste it up?
You can do three.
Okay.
You can actually do three. You can actually do three. So I can say, okay, for gender, I want to also look at distribution of education level. Now I'm looking at two questions now. For female that are in secondary school, So now I want to know, okay, not just gender now. My question now is, I want to see how school and gender determines whether you are going to spend more time online or not. So on this table now, you see that for female that are in secondary school, they spend less time online than females that are in tertiary. Male that are in secondary school spend way less time online than female that is in tertiary. You can see that I now have 3. So you can have 3, dependent on your question. So it's just that's why you have row, columns, and values. That's why you have row, columns, and values. Also, you might not have this here. Everything is based on your question. So you can have male, gender, and gender, and say, okay, one distribution of gender and education level. You have not brought in any continuous variable here. You are just looking at counts. So everything is dependent on your question. So the tools are there. Your question is now what determines what you pull to this, what you pull to that, and what you do. That's why someone can look at sum, another person will look at marks, another person will look at product, another person will look at standard deviation, another person will say, okay, no, I want percentage, I want grand total, I want row total. So it's dependent, the tools are there. It's just your question that then determines what you will do. But with that dashboard, we can give everybody the same data set and people will pick the same thing. If you and another person might pick the same variable, but because you're having different questions, you will have different analysis to do on that variable. You can pick 2 sets of variables and you have the same kind of analysis in terms of the tools you use, but different results in terms of the questions you are answering. So anything you are going to do is dependent on your question, and you can do anything. I mean anything with pivot table, anything you conceive in your mind. So just conceive it, then you can do it. Have I answered your question?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Any other question? So we did not touch on logic statements, right? If I intentionally left it because I feel, okay, we should concentrate on categoricals and continuous for this week. So next week, when everybody had presented their pivot table, because next week everybody is going to create many pivot tables with this data set and the questions you have in mind and you present it. Please ensure your PCs are charged. Ensure your PCs are charged. It's a very pivotal part of this class. You cannot learn data analysis with video and just watching. You can only learn with practice. Please, even if it's going to take you to go and pay for it, take that pain and try to do it. Please. You cannot learn data analysis by just watching video. In terms of even videos, you can go to YouTube and you see many videos. That's the truth. You go to YouTube, you see many videos. But the training part, having someone to provide that scaffold, that's the essence of this training. It's not that I've been switched, but this thing that we have put together is like the best thing after fried rice. It's just that we are providing that scaffold for you to ask questions and be able to practice it. There are videos out there. That's why you see that we remove people every week, because we know that you can get the video. We are not the best. So it's good that if there are 2 people that will train and provide that scaffold for, no problem. Even if it's just 1 person that will finish this training together, no problem. So it's just that scaffold that we want to provide. So if you are unable to put on your PC to work on it whilst we are in these sessions, then it's the same thing as what you do by watching videos, which is the same thing, which you can just do on your own leisure time. So there's no need for you to waste your time here. So it's just like you are wasting your time to me. Because if you are still coming here to come and watch video, it's the same thing as going to YouTube and just watching videos. So please, just ensure that you are able to charge your PC. Please, wherever it is going to take, wherever it is that will take you, please, but don't let it take you that you go and do something that is illicit or but something legal. And I don't illicit that it will take you. It's going to go and break someone, go and put your PC there and charge your PC and go and carry it. Please just ensure that you do it just for these 3 hours. Please, please. So thank you very much. So for the last part of the class, I'll just start taking oral feedbacks. So today is oral feedbacks, not what's it called? Not okay. Oh, there are chats here. Oh, done. All right. Okay. So feedbacks. Who's gonna go first? I don't want to call names, so please, who's gonna go first? Let's unmute and start feedback.
Okay. So I think today's class was like the most interactive section ever since we began this training. Like everybody was involved, even for someone that was not at the last class or that didn't watch the last video, at least today, everybody was involved. We're able to do everything you are doing. And that was why I like it when Adam made that suggestion that okay, as we are doing the practice, let us also be doing it on our own laptop. So it was really interesting and really interactive. So we're able to ask real-time questions. If we don't get it, we go back and like so. I want it to continue this way, to be of more practical and interactive. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Well, that's how it's going to be, and that's how it ought to be, right? That's what we have we decided we designed it. Thank you very much for that. That's what we know what design is, what we had in mind. So, but as we start, there's going to be some elements of learning curves, down, things will ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. It's going to be like that. So whenever you find out that, okay, we are a bit theoretical, we are not practical, please give us that feedback. Let us know that we can easily track back. Course correct. All right. So another person, you know that you have not talked, unmute and talk. Oh yeah, nah.
Okay, my own feedback is just basically to everyone participating in the program. I just feel that I've done trainings, and I know it can be quite difficult when you're trying to engage your trainees and they're not responding. Sometimes the encouragement is not there, and you're like wondering, "Ugh, am I sure am I sure these people are actually learning?" So I just feel that we should be more active than passive while the training is ongoing. We should respond and all of that. So the person that is training us, our facilitator, does not feel discouraged or does not feel demoralized, or because we are not answering and all of that. So I think he should be more active on the course of the training. And like he said, we should ask questions when necessary, because it actually helps. I can remember when they told us to download Power BI and R, and we were like, you cannot get. It was even SPSS we had issue with, and someone even had to send the package to us on the group chat where every other person downloaded. So I think if you are really confused, you can just drop it on the group chat. I'm very sure one person or the other will want to reach out to you privately and just say, okay, why don't you do it like this? Than us coming online and they're asking, oh, have you done this? And they're like, oh, I do not see the video. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I've been busy. Sometimes it's quite discouraging because at the end of the day, let's not be like the person that is coming to train us just wasted his time for the whole 3 hours, and it's just a few number of people that just learned. Because as an educationist, it's when 30% of your class learns, or are actively engaged is as good as you've not done your best, right? So it's important that we show that activeness. We show that even though you don't understand, at least the period I've been in this training, our facilitator does not mind repeating himself until everybody understands, right? So I think there's no hurt in you saying, "Oh, I don't understand," though, or can you explain it a little bit slower? So it's quite encouraging. It shows that yes, we are really ready to learn, and I feel that at the end of the day, even though we don't get it all, at least we will be able to take away a few things from this training, which can even further our career. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Like you just said my mind. I see that. I see my countenance dropped. Like you nailed the point. Like you just it can be quite discouraging for let me just leave it. Yeah, because when you put in the effort and everything and come around and you find out that as though that you're not doing anything, that's what you feel. Is it about you or you start to question everything? So it's please, just like she has said, let's just turn up. Yeah, people are actually like kudos. Like people are very well. So please let's turn it up. Let's turn it up. Let's turn it up. As a matter of fact, we're going to be removing many people from the group this week. So if you have friends that are in the group or together, many of them, especially for people that are not on this call, you see many of them going. Because we knew when we started that we're not going to have the same number finishing the goal. So please, let's just ensure that we continue to engage, ask questions. Like that group should be a group of questions. If you have questions, if you are watching the video and any part you don't understand, drop that voice note. Someone will reply you. If I'm unable to reply, another person will reply. If I come, I will listen to all of the replies. If it's fine, I will not do anything again. If there's no need for me to say anything, I will not say anything. There's need something, okay, let me add this also. I will add, and that's where knowledge starts to build up. If you are not encountering issues, and it's only what I taught in class, then there are issues. So because it's just like a wall. One of my mentors is like a wall. Now we come to the class and we talk. There are some holes that we don't fill up. But when you ask questions, that hole are easily filled up, or those holes are easily filled up. So that's how it is. But if we don't ask questions, we don't engage, then it's kind of stunts growth, stunts growth. So please let's engage, let's ask questions, and so that it's to make us better for it, to make the training program better for it. That when we are done, we can say, okay, this person can. We are happy that okay, we're able to contribute to your growth in one way or another, even if it's just little. We are happy for that. All right, thank you very much, Ada. Any other person? Princess, you have not talked. Fabian, you have not talked. Ajayi, you have not talked. Please say something.
Oh, no questions for now. I think I would use the group more before coming on Saturday so that we're not being drawn back by. Yes.
All right. So actually, in terms of what should be done, everything that we need to do or that we need to know is what we have done today. So if you're able to get everything we do today and you're able to practice and practice well, you're good to go. The next set of exercises is just building dashboards. And it's just about picking your question, that pivot table, pick it together, then chat, put the chat, put it there, put the chat, and everything becomes, you can see that the dashboard we looked at, you can see how we were able to piece out all of the, okay, it's categorized in clinical. You can just put all of this, just 6 variables here, you're good to go. And you create beautiful dashboards. So when you create the first one, create the second one, create the third one, it becomes part and parcel. I can do that now. You're going to Power BI. Oh, everything we did in Excel. Oh, I can do it even easier in Power BI. Wow. Then You're able to do that. Then we graduate to R, we graduate to SPSS, we graduate to all of those. It becomes easier and easier, easier. Easier does this. Does it. So Ajayi Oluwabumi. Ajayi Oluwabumi. Are you here with us? Princess, are you here with us?
Yes, I am. I just don't have anything to say aside looking for a backup after charging my system so it's not off mid-class.
Okay. How many hours does your battery last?
Roughly 2 hours. That's actually on a good day.
Not a good day. Not a good day. So that means that about 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's actually if I have data connected to it, but without data connection, about 3 hours.
Okay. Okay, yeah. That connection actually transpired. Yeah, I know resource constraints in Nigeria can also be quite frustrating. Yeah, yeah, we're right. And then, like we said, that's ambition and commitment to analogy that I was talking about. So I always like think it like that. Okay, the pain I'm taking is just to match my commitment to my ambition. Let my commitment with my ambition so that I can become top of the top in my field. So that's just actually if you become top of the top, it's actually very rewarding. It's actually very rewarding. Very, very rewarding. Like very, very rewarding. You say, they have this problem, or the person that I know someone that can solve this problem, and they call you and you solve it. Like for you, for the person who referred you, and for the person they referred you to, like, it speaks volumes. And you can only attain that when you do the effort. Thank you for that. Ajayi Oluwabumi, are you with us? Ajayi Oluwabumi, are you with us? I don't think she's here. So thank you very much, everyone. It's so nice to hear from all of you again. See your profile DPs. Although we are not seeing your faces, I'm seeing my own face. All of you always keep your face off. No problem. So I know one day again we'll tell everybody to put on their videos. So thank you very much once again. So we meet next week by midweek use or Tuesday or Wednesday. I want to see the videos for this week. Please watch the video. If there are 2 videos, please ensure that you pay attention to the links. I will send 2 videos. There are 3 videos, I'll send 3 videos. But for the most part, it will be either 2. Please watch the videos, do all the tasks. So by next week, we are all good to go. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.